tired of running for shade? And aren't you tired of being hustled and played? And aren't we all tired of crying about how hard it is to be black in America, even if it looks like we've got it made? But freedom has its limits, so here we are, tear-streaked and salt-stained faces. Traces of trauma and pain lace our DNA like our black pride is cut and laced with self-hate, and we still think it's dope. Just like the music we're programmed to celebrate. Can you tell me the fate of the people who consciously take the bait and embrace the very traits placed upon them by their captors, who by design are inclined to keep them believing they're second rates? I'll wait. What's good? Yes, I got the flower in my hair. Today's my daughter's birthday. She put the flower there, so I'm rocking it. What? It's a beautiful day here in Atlanta. I just wanted to shout out and just spread some love and some good cheer. And you know, life is out here lifing, right? For me and for everybody else. But just wanted to remind you, as I remind myself, that no matter what's going on, there's always a reason to smile. Like if you just take a minute to stop and take stock, I guarantee you can find at least one reason to smile. And if for some reason you can't find a reason to smile, then that's probably the best time to be the reason for somebody else to smile. So, find a smile for yourself and be your reason for someone else to smile. That's all I got. Find a smile for yourself and be your reason for someone else to smile.
On July 20th, 2025, tragic news shook the entertainment industry. Malcolm Jamal Warner passed away at the age of 54. He was most recognized for playing Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show. This wasn't a clickbait title or some crazy rumor. It was the authentic thing. Fans were in shock, heartache, and a state of confusion. And when disaster struck, he and his wife and daughter were enjoying a restful holiday in Costa Rica. He drowned near Cavite in the Lemon province, according to reports from the Costa Rican Red Cross and local investigators. Warner was dragged away from the coast by a lethal rip current while swimming with his daughter. One of those cunning marine threats that appear harmless at first glance but have the ability to pull you out with horrifying power. After receiving the call, rescuers acted quickly, but the current persisted. According to witnesses, the beach appeared harmless at first with gentle waves, but beneath the surface, there was a violent pull. After he was retrieved from the waves, paramedics made every effort to revive him, but it was too late. Shortly after arriving at the coast, he was declared dead.
To bring him back after he was pulled from the waters, but it was too late. He was pronounced dead shortly after reaching shore.
You long believed to be true, but realized wasn't.
Well, as one of the main opponents of the Illuminati, I always wanted to know what information they had that we didn't.
Now we finally have an update on the drowning death of Malcolm Jamal Warner. Now, according to ABC7, they stated that Malcolm Jamal Warner had drowned while he was on vacation in Costa Rica. Now, the article goes on to say that Warner had drowned off the coast of Costa Rica on Sunday.
Life, it's fragile, and in the blink of an eye,
You never know.
you never know. So speaking of legacy, what do you hope that your legacy is going to be?
There is part of me that I will be able to leave this earth, knowing and people knowing that I was a good person.
I spent, so much of the early part of my life listening to, being celebrated on one hand, but paying way too much attention to the naysayers.
These are the first things we saw when we pulled up to the beach. Signs in Spanish and English warning people about potentially hazardous conditions. This sign even giving a roadmap for how to escape a rip current.
It was determined to be an accidental drowning by the local autopsy. Just a sad turn of events, no drugs, no booze, no questionable activities. Warner just wanted to spend some time in peace with his family. Now all of a sudden, everything was different. millions of people who grew up watching him suffered a terrible loss. Malcolm Jamal Warner entered the sea at some point in the middle of the morning, according to 2 early time frames. He was relaxed, beaming and enjoying the occasion. Before everything changed in an instant, his family was even taking pictures on a typical beach day. What began as a lighthearted moment became a nightmare that no one could have predicted. Confusion erupted like wildfire once the news was posted online. Fans were incredulous. Some even believed it to be just another of those all too often fictitious celebrity death stories. This time, though, it was genuine. The confirmations arrived quickly. Official comments were issued by Costa Rican local authorities. Prominent media sites such as Variety, E! News, and NBC News all verified the devastating reality. It could not be denied. Malcolm Warner was no longer there. The family has not yet provided any information on the funeral or memorial, although some internet articles indicate that Stutt's funeral home in Alabama would hold a service. The funeral home has not issued a statement or provided any confirmation. Until Warner's family or an official representative steps up, none of those rumors will be confirmed. It is obvious that the man had a significant influence. His passing came as a shock to the entertainment industry. Actors, singers, producers, and friends who had collaborated with him over the years began to pour in tributes in a matter of hours. Warner was said to be a unique person and a lifetime friend by Angela Bassett, who knew him well. The sorrow was genuine, unadulterated, and pervasive. She claimed that everyone fortunate enough to meet him was profoundly impacted by his genuineness, heart, and singing. Even the 87-year-old Bill Cosby broke his silence by posting a rare handwritten message online. He discussed more than simply Warner's involvement on The Cosby Show in it. He became intimate. Cosby recalled how Warner and his own son Enos, who sadly died in 1997, used to play together. As Cosby put it, "I'm numb, lost a son once more." People were deeply affected by the line. Between the lines, Tracy Ellis Ross, who co-starred with Warner in Red, also revealed herself. "Losing Malcolm feels like losing a piece of my early television life," she added, expressing her devastation. She described him as intelligent, compassionate, and the type of performer who gave every scene their best. "We lost our brother, the quiet one, the deep thinker, the one who made you feel safe and heard." Actress Viola Davis said on Instagram, expressing her grief. She claimed that Malcolm represented dignity rather than merely acting. Another Cosby Show star, Jeffrey Owens, moved viewers to tears with his heartfelt homage. He claimed to be the glue that held many of us together. He restored the peace too. The room when it became silent. He provided perspective when the noise level increased. Malcolm exhibited that type of presence. The wave of tributes was joined by well-known people, including Shanetta Renee Wilson, Adam Sandler, Courtney B. Vance, and others. Sandler even talked about how they were both young and working side by side in the comedy industry in the late 1980s. Malcolm, according to Adam Sandler, was the backstage person who was always reading actual literature while the others made jokes, he remarked. "We used to call him the philosopher." Shanetta Renee Wilson made the shocking admission that she had considered contacting Malcolm recently, but decided against it. "That was the message I ought to have sent. I will never reach this point." That struck a new chord. It's a sobering reminder to all. Don't wait to express your concern for others. However, the internet was genuinely rocked by the homage Beyoncé. A black and white picture of Malcolm took its place on the front page of her official website. Just that image. No connections, no text. She has only ever performed this type of dance. For NBA greats like Tina Turner and Kobe Bryant, it was a silent but significant display of reverence. Malcolm was a beast in the music industry, in addition to being an actor. The majority of people were unaware that he was a spoken word poet, an award-winning bassist, He received a Grammy in 2015 for Best Jesus Children's Classic R&B Performance featuring Lala Hathaway and Robert Glasper. Indeed, he possessed range. He was always on the road, utilizing his music to provoke thinking and speak truth. His performances were more than just feel good, they had a message for us. He continued to change while on TV. He appeared in American Horror Story, Suits, 911, and The Residents as Dr. A.J. Austin. He remained genuine, relevant, and loyal to his art at all times. Malcolm Jamal Warner repeatedly demonstrated his unwavering skill. It changed. He transitioned between humor and drama with ease, giving each part he played heart, nuance, and honesty. This goes beyond simply losing a childhood idol. It's the passing of a true artist. A man who never stopped inventing, remained nimble, and developed with his art. Warner's family hasn't spoken as of yet. No interviews, no postings, and no press releases. To be honest, it makes sense for them to be silent. He was a private individual, and it appears that his surviving family members choose to grieve in silence away from the spotlight. Just a place to grieve, no cameras, no pressure. However, people have stepped in to speak out with love as the family remains mute. Rare footage from his spoken word shows in small venues, music concerts, podcasts, throwbacks. And old Cosby Show clips abound on social media and tribute pages. His life and legacy are now fully preserved on the internet. There are still many unanswered questions. Will the memorial be open to the public? When will the family finally speak up? Is it possible for Hollywood to plan a significant tribute event? Nothing has been verified as of yet. However, one thing is certain. This is a great loss. So genuine. Malcolm won't only be absent from Spotify playlists and TV screens. The culture, the atmosphere, and the quiet that he once gave purpose to will all be missed, till the family formally speaks up. Fans are being cautioned to avoid dubious fundraisers, misleading headlines, and unsubstantiated information. Let's treat them with dignity. The most authentic approach to paying tribute to Malcolm Jamal Warner is to immerse yourself in his work by seeing the performances, listening to the music, and experiencing the lyrics. This man used his art to communicate rather than only acting. Although he moved quietly, his effect was audible. Despite his early start and meteoric rise as Theo Huxtable, he refused to allow his notoriety to define him. With poise, strength, and determination, he developed into his mission. He avoided the commotion. No controversies, no pursuit of influence, simply a steady routine. He was able to create a legacy that is stronger than ever because of his dedication. Theo was more than a character. He turned into a symbol. Malcolm transformed that into a meaningful career spanning decades, becoming a well-known figure in Black activism, education, and entertainment. He provided quiet mentoring off-screen. It's just genuine love and direction, without any gaudy headlines. A devoted family man who kept his business and group close-knit. The last farewells, date, and location are yet unknown. However, Malcolm Jamal Warner is no longer with us, and his absence makes the world seem a bit less bright. He didn't finish his voyage on a red carpet or soundstage. The serene waters of Cavite, Costa Rica, marked its conclusion. Away from the lights and the commotion. Perhaps that piece, rather than being about hypos, what he had always desired, it's all heart. Peace be with you, Malcolm. Warner, Jamal, you were more than simply a fictional character. Every time you arrived, we saw the real one. Please, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe if this story touched you. Leave your comments below. What effects did Malcolm's work have on you? We appreciate your time and hope to see you in a future video.